Welcome, everyone. My name is Darren Heaton with Science of Sport, and today we're excited to be talking about arena design and the different STEM topics that are used within it. Of course, STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. Mainly the engineering technology elements are what we're going to be talking about within arena design. And I believe we have no one better again to be talking about this than Dr. Ricardo Valerdi, who's actually in Las Vegas right now for the Pac-12 conference tournament. And Ricardo, let's get right into it. What is your favorite arena? What are those favorite design elements, unique features that are included in that arena?
I'm going to pick two, if that's okay. I would say the first one is probably McHale Center in Tucson, Arizona, where the Wildcats play. And I like that arena because the games feel very intimate. You're right next to the action. And we actually lead the Pac-12 in home attendance for the last 20 years. So there's a reason why that's a good place to play if you're the home team. And I would just throw in the second one is the Caesars Superdome. I really like that facility because it's multi-sport. You could put a football field in it. You could play basketball games in it. Of course, you can host concerts. And so I think I would put that up there as well because the Caesars Superdome is just you could fit a lot of people there and get it very loud and bring a lot of really good energy around the sport.
Yeah, I wonder why you are choosing that. So interesting. I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it later. But you did mention McHale Center, so also very strategic. Can you give a quick little background on your tie to McHale Center?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a little bit of a biased answer, but I'm a faculty member in the College of Engineering at the University of Arizona, where I also teach sports analytics. So I happen to go to a lot of games at McHale Arena. But I'm also the chief scientist of Science of Sport with you and others, where we bring together the concepts of STEM and then make them interactive and fun through sports.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it. And oftentimes you don't make that connection to the arenas, stadium, ballparks, wherever some of these sports are being played. That there's so much STEM that takes place within it. Like you're at T-Mobile Arena right now. What are some of the unique features for T-Mobile?
Well, so this arena here is actually located on the Las Vegas Strip. So they have restaurants and hotels and casinos just across the street, literally from this arena. But what's cool about T-Mobile is that it actually took 2 years to build at a cost of $375 million. So they started construction in 2014 and then opened the doors in 2016. So if you can imagine a $375 million facility, this is what it looks like. And they host all sorts of things. It's not only basketball. I mean, you'll find other sports like hockey, mixed martial arts, and concerts. And so they pack in so many people in here. I think it's 18,000 people you can fit here at T-Mobile Arena. And I'm sure for the different sports, different configurations, maybe hockey would be a little bit different. Maybe for concerts, it might be a little more because you have floor seating as well. But for basketball, 18,000 fans. And tonight, you're going to see the semifinals of the Pac-12 tournament. There's going to be 18,000 screaming fans rooting for their team.
That's awesome. Yeah, these arenas, a lot of the design elements now are geared around how do we create the best environment for the players on the field, on the court, field, whatever it may be. And if it's more intimate, it can create a louder experience as well. So, some of these arenas are much larger than 18,000, and they're still creating a very loud atmosphere. A couple that I wanted to point out, the largest arena in NCAA is in Syracuse. They have 35,000 seats available for their basketball arena. The second is substantially lower That comes to Kentucky, and they have 23,000 seats. What was super interesting to me is how big of a gap that is. And the smallest NCAA basketball arena is 800 people. So it's just really interesting to look at the seating capacity, and that really has a large impact in the design elements too. When you're thinking about arena design, you look at the size, the location. If you're going to be on the Vegas Strip, like where you're at right now, the experience that can take place, the technology. These amazing scoreboards that are essentially wrapping the whole arena now, not just in the center, but they have them scattered throughout the entire facility. So I think that's really, really cool as well. And the oldest NCAA arena is Northeastern University, and that was built in 1910. So some crazy arena design facts, fun facts, we'll say. But if you were designing an arena, where would you start? Like, what are some of the different elements that you would focus on within that? Can you talk about arena engineering design process a little bit?
Yeah, certainly. When you're thinking of designing almost anything, and we'll talk about sport venues in this context, it's useful to bring in as a step-by-step guide the engineering design process, which you'll see here in the graphic begins with asking questions like, what does this facility need to do? How many people do we need to fit, etc. Then leading into doing some research into what are the possible designs that could fulfill those needs. Then you imagine a variety of solutions that could meet those needs. So maybe it could be an arena that's open air, or it could be an arena that has a closed roof, evaluating different options. And then you draw up some designs, either on paper or on the computer, as an architect would do or a civil engineer would do. And then you actually build, you do the construction. You'll notice that the construction then doesn't start until you've done all these important decisions up front. And then you test to make sure that everything that you've built is built to code. And then eventually and iteratively along the way, you make it better. So you improve it by maybe adding more features or making it more accessible to people. And then you go and you open the doors and you get people in there and you make sure that they have a safe and exciting experience.
What are some different STEM careers that take place in sports?
Well, just in the engineering design process that I mentioned, I can think of three. One of them is civil engineering. So those are the people who think about the construction itself. What are the materials that you need? How do you put them together? How do you bring in steel, glass, metal, and make a structure itself? So civil engineering is one. Another one would be electrical engineering, which is how do you get electricity in here, but how do you get all these lights and scoreboards to work so that they give the fans the information and experience they need. And then the third, I would say, is probably software engineering, which is how do you program all the technology, all these displays and screens? How do you program software and graphics to make sure they display the right information when it's needed? So just in the arena design and operation process, there are those three engineering disciplines that contribute to making this a good experience.
That's really cool and fascinating because students often think that they can only be a basketball player, and that's the really only way to get into sports. And there's just so much out there that you can do within working for a professional or NCAA basketball team that can focus on STEM. So love that. Highly suggest to be able to go research some of those different jobs that are out there and see if they're any interest to you. Maybe there's something that you want to pursue that you didn't even know existed out there. So just as we continue to talk about arena design, what are some ways that kids, students can start to do a project that's focused on this?
I mean, I think one of the ways I would start is to research on the internet the characteristics, like the unique features of each of these arenas that we refer to, like McHale or Caesar Superdome, or maybe an arena near your home, whether it's college or pro, and then learn about how it was built, when it was built, who built it, but also some of the special features that may be unique to that arena. And that would be just be a way to start appreciating how much effort went into building those things.
Exactly. And you mentioned Caesar Superdome. So the last time that the NCAA tournament was there was 10 years ago. And this is what the court looked like then. And so being able to put that idea out and design something too is really fascinating, and an added element to that project that students can work on. With it being held at the Caesar Superdome, you don't even need to stop just at the arena. You can start to look at logos. You want to create your own logo. The 2022 Men's Final Four New Orleans logo looks awesome. And you can see that it has a lot of personality of the community and New Orleans as a whole. So maybe a little bit more art element, maybe a STEAM that we're focusing on here. And lastly, just wanted to show you the seating capacity for the Final Four. They're using the entire stadium for seating. So you can see how tiny the court is in comparison to the stadium that they're going to be in, which I thought was very fascinating. So yeah, we hope that you enjoy watching the Final Four and the March Madness leading up to it, of course. And we hope that this helps you have a better appreciation for STEM, and all of that takes place within arena design. But yeah, Ricardo, any closing thoughts?
I will just say, go Wildcats, bear down. Let's win the Pac-12 and win the national title this year.
All right, love it. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a good one.